As most of you may know, unpopular opinions have been a big trend online recently, but I've come to loathe those videos for the most part, especially mine. I was around 15 or 16 when I started making those videos, and with time, just like everyone else's opinions, my opinions have changed drastically, from music artists to social issues, and just down to simple things. And today I wanted to revisit those topics. Now I'm not going to go over every single thing, but I'm going to go over the ones that stick out to me the most and compare them to how I feel now. First of all, let me start by saying I'm not conservative or even conservative leaning. I just went through a very public anti-SJW phase. The first topic we're going to talk about is cultural appropriation. I don't think cultural appropriation is stupid, but to this day I still think it's a bit of a complex subject. I do think cultural appropriation exists, but I'm not sure where the line gets drawn when it comes to what's okay, what people shouldn't do, and what they should do. There may be things that me or another person don't find offensive, but others do, and vice versa. Most of the time when the conversation of cultural appropriation comes up, I do tend to understand many sides of the conversation. But it does exist, it's very prevalent. In all honesty, I can't give a 100% view on it because I'm still learning myself. Next up, we have feminism. I don't think when a woman speaks up about an issue, that anyone, especially not a man, should respond to that issue with, "not all men" anymore. When a woman speaks about an issue, or any group of people for that matter speak of an issue, it should not be seen as an attack on your manhood or you. Just because a woman acknowledges an issue or double standards, doesn't mean that they're downplaying what someone else is going through. And most of the issues they're speaking of is a direct result of being a woman and the things they have to go through. It means they're telling you what happened and is currently happening, and we should all listen, and that's just that. That is my thoughts on feminism. I don't think feminism is stupid. Sure, there are extremists, but there are extremists on every side of the spectrum and in every movement. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that subject. On to another subject. When it comes to sexuality, when it comes to gender, I believe you can be whatever the fuck you want to be. You can conform or you cannot conform. You can be non-binary, you can be pan. No one should invalidate anyone's identity. Be who you want, and I don't think anyone should face judgment for that. If you don't want to be labeled or conform to any societal norms, then you have every right and you should be able to live a peaceful and happy life, and not have people ridiculing your existence. On to fatphobia. Fatphobia is a real thing in my opinion. Yes, the argument has been made that the body positivity movement encourages obesity, but I don't agree with that anymore. I believe it just promotes large people not feeling bad about themselves. I know some people are going to mention this, and yes, skinny shaming is a real thing as well. I feel like when the body positivity movement downs skinny or thin bodies, that's flawed as well. But fatphobia is much more present. If you're unhealthy and obese or unhealthy and thin, of course you should take the steps to get healthy. But I don't think while you achieve that goal, you should feel bad about yourself, be berated for your weight or body, or have low self-esteem. Also, genetics do play a factor into people's sizes, so it's not just as simple as lose weight or gain weight. When it comes to toxic masculinity, my opinions are pretty much the same. Yes, it is a real thing. Yes, men of all ages face it in some form, and we're told we're not supposed to be the emotional, feminine, or vulnerable type. But I'm glad in recent years it has become more of a conversation, because toxic masculinity doesn't only affect men, it affects a large array of people. And those are my thoughts on that. When it comes to dark or edgy humor, I'm not opposed to it. I'm going to be the first one to say I'm all for edgy humor still, but I have come to realize that some people use dark humor as a crutch for how they really feel. Also feel like not everything is a joking matter, and if you do enjoy dark or edgy humor, I feel like you should partake in it around people who are comfortable with it. And that does not mean go be racist or homophobic in private. It just means if you like edgy jokes, or say you and your friends have an understanding when it comes to your humor, then you should do it around them, because not everyone is going to be receptive to those type of things. And if you say something offensive to another person or around other people who don't like the joke you made, then so be it, the backlash will come. Aside from the social commentary, there's also been smaller things that have changed for me, like for example, I didn't care for Ariana Grande at first, now I'm a fan. Selena Gomez is like an up and down chart for me. She's not the best, but sometimes she does it for me, sometimes she doesn't. And I still hate soda. But in all seriousness, the pop culture opinions aren't anything that's a big deal. Stans are crazy, but if I said I didn't like a song or album a few years ago, that's exactly what I meant. It's frivolous. What I really cared about is if my past thoughts or opinions felt hateful towards certain groups of people. I never want that to be the case, and if my ignorance offended anyone, I am sorry. I never want to give out that energy or be that person invalidating someone else or their experiences. I understand I'm not entitled to anyone's forgiveness, but I do take full accountability for the things I said, no matter the age that I said them. As I've gotten older, I am growing and learning a lot of new things. I feel like I've grown up with this channel, and I've hit so many growth spurts, and I feel like some of my past thoughts are definitely something I had to speak on. Especially when I make a video and I present my newer thoughts, some people will be like, well, didn't you say this? Yes, I did, a few years ago, and I just simply don't agree with that anymore. Aside from social commentary, I simply do not like unpopular opinions videos anymore. Sure, I'll still give my thoughts on things, of course, but I feel like unpopular opinions is just so oversaturated now. The trend should have died a long time ago, and some of the things people say aren't even unpopular, and that even goes for myself. I look at those videos, I'm just like, boy, that wasn't even unpopular, what are you talking about? But I hope everyone has a great day. And since this video is about changed unpopular opinions, I want you guys to share some of your changed unpopular opinions down below, and it can be about anything. Tell me how you've changed and your views have changed over the past few years. Remember, these are my changed opinions, you do not have to agree with them. Thanks for watching, and I'm really excited to continue this journey of change.